Today we're making lumberjacks. Yay! Everybody loves lumberjacks. These cookies my mom made for me and my brother and sister growing up. So it's a real pleasure to be sharing this recipe with you today. Okay, let's get going. All right, so the original recipe from the old Sturbridge Village cookbook that my mom actually photocopied and gave to me. It makes a lot of cookies, so I always do a half a recipe, and you could see in the beginning of this video I showed you how I had written that out. So if you want to start out by making that, feel free, or go for the gusto and make them and share them, because I have never met a person who did not like lumberjacks. So we're starting with 2 cups of flour into the bowl. This is going to be our dry ingredient bowl. Okay. Next, going into the bowl, we have 1/2 cup of sugar. Next, we have 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And don't worry about those little things. We're going to whisk all the little lumpy things out before we mix in the wet ingredients. Don't worry. All right. Next, we have 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Next, going into the bowl, we have 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger. Finally, the last of the dry ingredients, a nice fat teaspoon of cinnamon. I love cinnamon, so these cookies we're going to roll into little balls, and then we're going to roll those little balls in a cinnamon sugar mixture. The recipe says to roll them in just sugar, but I'm a big fan of cinnamon, so I like to mix a little bit in. You don't have to, but I highly suggest it. Okay, and now we are going to whisk the ingredients together, making sure to incorporate everything, and as well as aerate your flour mixture. Get out all those tiny lumps. No one likes lumps. All right, now we're going to set this aside, and we are going to mix together our wet ingredients, and we'll put it all together, and we're going to bake us some lumberjacks. It's going to smell so good in here today. So I have 1 egg in my bowl, and I have my cup measure greased, and I have 1/2 cup of dark molasses going right in there. And look at that. Since I greased it, everything came right out. Oh, look at that. It's even still coming out. I bet I get everything. That's not bad. I'll take it. Okay. We're going to whisk this all together. Oh, I can't wait. Okay. And then we're going to pour in the dry ingredients. I'm going to get rid of my whisk because it's time for, drumroll please, the big fork. My favorite utensil. Okay. I am going to very carefully pour in the dry ingredients. And I don't believe I've ever done this with one hand before, so wish me luck. There we go. So now I'm going to grab my big fork and start mixing. I know a lot of you out there are really big fans of the spatula, those little flexible spatulas. It's funny because growing up, I didn't have one. My mom never cooked with one. I think at a certain point she did start using one, long after I was an adult living on my own. And so it's funny when I see everybody using these spatulas, I always say, I sound like Jerry Seinfeld. Who are these people with spatulas? I'm sorry, that wasn't actually a very good impression of him at all. But anyway, I'm going to keep mixing this up, and I'm going to really need my left hand for that because the dough is getting a little stiff, and so I'll tell some more jokes in a little while. Okay, so that's what it's gonna look like when you're all done, and your arm's gonna hurt because you need elbow grease to mix this stuff up. And next, we are going to roll it up into little balls like the size of a walnut, and we're gonna mix up some sugar. So I've mixed about 1/4 of a cup of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're going to roll these in that and then bake them. Okay, I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is my Lumberjack cookie dough. And I rolled up a couple of walnut-sized balls of cookie dough and put them in my cinnamon sugar. I'm going to roll them around. And there's my cookie tray, lined with one layer of plain old regular newspaper paper bag. Sorry, I don't think you should use newspaper. Anyway, so yes, and then I have my trays that I'm going to cool them on. I'm going to slide it right off and onto a tray, and then I can put the next sheet of paper right on and bake my next batch. So it's real simple. You could definitely do it with your store paper bags, paper only. Plastic would probably make these cookies a little crunchier. I told you there was going to be another joke coming. I did not plan that one. Okay, so let's gently roll these in the cinnamon sugar and get them pretty good and coated, you know, because what's going to happen is you will get, and you need a little bit of room for them to spread, maybe just a little more. So I'll probably do 2, 1, 2, 1. Oh, you can't see my finger. Okay. I'll do like 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So they'll have space to spread. And I'll come back when that's all done. But yes, the cinnamon and sugar is going to give these such a nice, crunchy, sweet cinnamon outer layer. And it'll look a little crackly. And the inside is going to stay soft. It's such a wonderful cookie. Like I said, I've never met anyone who did not love these. And I'm so glad that I grew up eating them and that my mom made them for us and made me a copy of the book so that I could also make these. And so I definitely would like to dedicate this video to her. She's passed on now, but she was one heck of a lady, of a baker, of a cook, a master gardener, and such an inspiration to so many people. So this is for her. And let me get those balls rolling in some sugar, and we'll come back when we're ready to put them in the oven. They go in for 12 to 15 minutes at 350. Okay. Now they are ready to go in the oven. Oh, I'm so excited. I haven't made these for a while, and they are fantastic. Okay, so these are gonna bake now for 12 to 15 minutes, and we'll come back and take out the first batch. So while I'm waiting for these, look, see, they're getting all crackly. Anyway, while I'm waiting for these to be ready, they still have a few minutes yet. I rolled the rest of my dough into balls about the size of fairly large walnuts, actually. And it looks like I got 22 altogether. These are ready. I let them bake the full 15 minutes. And they smell so good. So I'm gonna let them cool, and I'm gonna show you how I'm just gonna slide these right off and onto that tray. Now, you have to be brave and don't burn yourself. So let's see if I can do this while filming. Ready? Woo! See that? You cob. Oh, look how yummy. Oh, this guy moved. I never had a bite of one of these when they were hot, but... Oh my god, it's so hot. I'm crunchy. I'm sorry. I'm crunchy. And good. Oh yeah. I've never eaten one of these straight out of the oven when it was still 350 degrees. Oh my goodness. Make yourself some lumberjacks. Give them to a friend. Give them to someone who's mad at you, and they will stop being mad. These are the best cookies. And I want to thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today, making our family favorite cookie, and hopefully now yours. Much love and happy baking to you. Look at those babies. And they're so soft on the inside. I don't know if I could really show you that with one hand. It's kind of like cracking an egg. So, let's see. Oh, I did it. Soft and tender on the inside. Let's see, should I squeeze it? Ooh, if I squeeze it, it'll just break apart. And they're crunchy on the outside and soft and stays tender on the inside. Such a good, like a cake cookie, people would say. But the crunch on the outside just makes it more like a cookie. Enjoy the lumberjacks, my friends.